Hi, welcome to the series of Reading the Bible Daily in a Year with
Mari.
Endless. So today we're going to start at Genesis 37, verse 25. We're going to go all the way to chapter 40, and we're going to stop at verse 8. So let's get to it. So Mari nos dejó where Joseph is in the pit. The brothers are on the side. They're just chilling. They're having a meal. Cuando ven que pasaron unos traders. So Judah said, maybe we shouldn't kill him. How about we just sell him to the traders? They're going to Egypt anyway. So they sold Joseph for 20 pieces of silver. Later, Reuben comes back to the pit and he realizes that Joseph is gone. Man, se puso bien preocupado. And he's like, ¿y ahora? ¿Qué le voy a decir a mi papá? The brother said, don't worry, we got a plan. Se llevaron la robe de Joseph y dijeron, le vamos a poner una sangrecita de un cabrito and we're going to take it to our dad. So they take the robe and take it to Jacob y Jacob piensa, oh my goodness, atacaron a mi hijo un animal, done took him out. Entonces Jacob se puso super sad. Estaba en un duelo que nadie lo podía consolar. He's like, everybody leave me alone. It's just me and my pain. So a Joseph se lo llevaron a Egypt. In Egypt, they sold him to a pharaoh que se llama Potiphar. So now we're going to move on to Genesis 38. Judah gets married. He marries la hija de Shua. Y con Shua tiene tres boys. Los boys se llaman Onan, y Sheila. Judah finds a wife, and this wife, esta muchachita se llama Tamar. Okay, keep that name. But then it says that the Lord takes out because he's wicked. So then Judah gives Tamar his other son, Onan. And back in the day, this was custom. Si una muchacha se quedaba viuda y tenían hermanos, the next brother was supposed to take that place and they were supposed to continue the family line. But Onan was all pleasure, no business. He says, I don't want to do this. He basically did not want to give Tamar a son. Because of this, because he wasn't following God's instructions, he gets taken out too. Now Judah is scared. If I give my third son Sheila, is he also gonna die? So he delays it and says, Tamar, you should go back home and live with your dad, and you should be living with your dad as a widow until Sheila grows up and is able to marry you. Tamar has realized that Judah has no intentions of sending Sheila to her. So many years have passed, he's already grown up, and she realizes that if she doesn't do something, then she's gonna be ella va a estar atrapada because she doesn't have kids, she can't remarry, like she depends on Judah's family so she can keep moving forward. So then she made up a plan. Se fue y se desplazó like a prostitute, y'all. And she was at the side of the road cuando pasa Judah. Judah la vio y le dijo, hey, ven, I want to sleep with you. So she tells him, okay, but how are you going to pay me? He tells her, I'm going to send you a young goat. And she's like, okay, that's fine. That's cool. But in the meantime, I want you to give me something so I can hold on to it to make sure that you're going to send me what you say you're going to send me. So she asked for his cord, his seal, and his staff. And then 3 months later, she's pregnant and they find out and they are accusing her of prostitution. So le van con el chisme a Judah, tu nuera, she's pregnant. And because she's been a prostitute. And he's so upset and he said, tráiganla para acá and burn her to death. Y ella, bien calmadita, bien calladita, gets the stuff that he gave her and sends it to him and tells him, these things were given to me by the man who slept with me. So Judah, yeah, he said, well, it was me. He says, Tamar is more righteous than me because he realizes that he had been wrong. Tamar, ella nada más está buscando un lugar que le pertenece. Tamar gives birth to twins. Primero viene baby Zerah. And he takes out his hand and the midwife puts a red bracelet on him. But then he's like, psych, mete la manita y sale Perez. So the firstborn is Perez. So now let's move on to Genesis 39. We're going to go back to the story of Joseph. Y'all know that Joseph has been sold as a slave to Egypt and now he's with Potiphar. So la Biblia nos dice that God is still with Joseph and that in everything that he does, he succeeds. So Potiphar se da cuenta y lo hace su mano derecha a Joseph. Lo pone encargado de toda su casa. Joseph is described as a well-built and a handsome man. Y la esposa de Potiphar, pues le echó el ojo. And she keeps trying to sleep with him, but he's like, absolutely not. Él es fiel to his master. And one day, Potiphar's wife lo agarró a Joseph desprevenido. But that man ran. He ran away from temptation, but he left his robe behind. Potiphar's wife makes up this whole story. Le dice a Potiphar, he tried to sleep with me, he did this, he did that. And Potiphar believes her y que manda a Joseph a la cárcel. Now, even in prison, God is with Joseph. And now in prison, even the wardens are friends with him, que lo hacen encargado de los prisioneros. Now let's end with Genesis 40. Joseph is in prison, right? And he's in prison with two people that are really important to Pharaoh. Uno es el baker y el otro es el cupbearer. Now, Pharaoh, I don't know what they did, but they clearly upset Pharaoh, que Pharaoh los mandó a la cárcel. Joseph gets to know them and earns their trust. Well, one night, los dos hombres tuvieron un sueño raro. Joseph les dice, yo no sé el futuro, only God knows, but tell me why you're troubled. Well, that's it. I'm going to leave y'all for the next day where Mari's going to tell us their dreams. Come back tomorrow for day 14 where we're going to be reviewing. ¿Qué vamos a estar leyendo, Mari?
We're going to be reading Genesis 40, starting at verse 9, all the way to chapter 42, stopping at verse 28.
Ok, amigos, o no se lo olviden mañana, traigan su tecito
Y su cafecito.
Bye.
Bye.